Hi and hello. I hope all is well with you wherever you are in the world today. And welcome. This is Dune Imperium and I am Admiral Trench. But today I'm just going to be recording myself setting up the game for tomorrow, or I'm sorry, for later tonight. And I'll just upload this for funsies so people can see how the magic is done. Now, this is all what remains from my previous night gaming. Oh my goodness, I forgot to put all my equipment away with my character. Goodness gracious. That would be a disaster if I lost all of my cool treasures. The game we were playing was Gloomhaven, and it was a good time. We got good improvements, so all is well, all is well. Pretty happy with everything that we did last game. I think what we did was, let's see here. We went in and we revealed that, oh, that's right, we had to sit on specific plates in order to open a locked door. And what was on the other side of the locked door were these treasures, right? And the treasures were for this creature, and this creature was a drake, and he wanted us to get all his treasures. Now, there was a lot of speculation as to what was happening because, yeah, we got the treasures for the drake, but then the mission just ended. There was no. The thing that was so peculiar about it was there were no. We had to like look it up online and everything. There was usually the book will tell you like you do this or you do this, and you go here or you go here depending what you want to do. Kind of like a choose your own adventure Goosebumps book. And this particular one, when it ended, it was exactly that. It just ended, and there was no like going back to the Drake to return the items that he wanted. It was weird. So we were pretty confused about that. But we did discover that we unlocked, let's see, it was called the Drake Aided. We got that achievement. So that was pretty cool. It's just, I have no idea what all that is. Like, we did the thing, we got like a prosperity point, if I'm not mistaken. So it wasn't all for nothing. It's just odd that the story wrapped up the way it did. And then the other thing that was odd too is the only reason why we ran across the Drake to begin with was because we were doing a mission. We were on a mission to do a thing. And the story took us up this mountain pass. And while we were on the mountain pass, some Enochs decided to throw boulders at us, and we were really left with no choice but to kind of defend ourselves. So we went to the cave where the Enochs were throwing boulders at us, and we decided to fight back, right? So we killed them all. And while we were walking away from that fight, kind of licking our wounds, but victorious nevertheless, that is when we ran into the Drake. Yeah, so I don't know. I thought that was odd. It was peculiar, but like I said, it's peculiar that the Drake asked us to do this mission for him, and we did not have to come back to deal with the Drake in any meaningful way. Aha, there we go. Well, there's a lot of things wrong with the way this is set up. We'll just have to figure that out later. Alrighty then, so now we get to the fun part. Now we open the box. The mystery box. It could be another mystery box. And we open the card box. Right on. So this is fun because with a lot of board games, what I like to do is buy, I don't know, little extra things to go with the board games to make them more fun to open and stuff like that. I'm just a geek for that kind of stuff, you know? So I've got these little jars. This is for the red people. If you want to be red, I hand you a jar. If you want to be yellow, here's your jar. If you want to be green, and so on and so forth. I'm always blue. Got to represent the CIS, as I am Admiral Trench after all. So I got to be blue. Here's your spice jar. Let's put the spice in there. The spice must flow. My water jar, pour the water tokens in there. Solari jar, pour the Solari in there. And then this is where my extra items are. We'll take care of that later. I'm going to be playing red, yellow, and blue. The green can remain. No. It was red that the batteries are running out of. That's right. And over here is where I tucked away the intrigue cards. Over here is where I tucked away the tech tiles and the conflict cards. And get a load of this. The pickle jar with all of my soldiers and agents and alliance tokens, all of the things I've crafted with the LED lights and everything. I needed a bigger jar, and it's a pickle jar, and I put bleach in it and I let it soak for a long time, and you still, every time you open it, oh, pickles. You smell pickles every time you open this thing. I, for one, like pickles. They're always welcome with me. Now, I know that pickles are one of those things that you either love or hate. There's a few people who have they're indifferent about them. Like for me, I love me some pickles. I could just actually, it's dangerous because I could actually eat an entire jar of pickles. No problem. I'm pretty sure I'd be really full, but I could do it. The Mentet. Okay, so there's really, the bloom is off the rose now with the inside of the box. We could just push this aside. Here's the character cards. Agent 1 and 2. And Agent 3. See, I marked them. That helps me keep track of them over here on the agent phase. Ah, yes, this is Agent 2, blue. The Mentet will go right here. Of course he will. That's where he goes. And we've got Agent 3 yellow and Agent 2 yellow. So I do believe that's everything. I'm not allowed to have a sword master, so he will stay in there. Alrighty then. Okay, so what's next? Well, what's next is these intrigue cards. I've got to open them up and shuffle them because that's what responsible gamers do. This is the way I shuffle them to make sure that the integrity of the card remains true through the test of time. I would like to get sleeves for these things, these little cards, but I have seen them. I have games with friends of mine who have the little sleeves for these types of cards, but then the stack goes from, it's already quite a large stack as it is. If you sleeve these things, they get really big. So it is just kind of not a good idea unless you have a container for them. And I had an idea in my mind of what I wanted to do. And I thought, you know how if you ever go to a diner, say, I don't know, Denny's or a place like that, I thought you could get one of those little sugar packet containers, you see it right next to where the salt and pepper shakers are a lot of times, with these little containers, and you see little sugar packets in it. I was like, if I could just I don't know, 5-finger discount one of those things that, I just saw one of the intrigue cards. Anyways, 5-finger discount one of those little sugar packet containers. Then I could sleeve all these and then set them upright and then just put a little shield at the end so nobody could see what the other card is at the bottom. Then they would all sit in there just like this, so you could just pull it out. That would be a good idea. Okay, so intrigue card stack is shuffled, I do believe, quite thoroughly, and now it's time for the tactile stack to be shuffled. And now here we go. It's been thoroughly shuffled. And there you go. What I like to do is put the cheapest one at the top, the second cheapest one in the middle, and the most expensive one at the very bottom. That's how I do it. And then I go over here for the conflict cards. Now, of course, these have already been shuffled, but you got to be responsible about it. So do a quick shuffle anyways. There's that. Then you've got your fivers right here. Or I'm sorry, not your fivers. Your 2 cards. But I call them fivers probably because you need 5 of them. 5 of these conflict cards. And then I just sort of pull at random. So 1, 2, 3, 4, oh, and 5. There you go. And then you need 4 of the 3 conflict cards. So let's just do one of these. And then I'll pull these at random. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, I don't know what they are. And 1 conflict card at the top. Just completely randomized. I have no idea what they are or what they're going to be. We'll pick characters last. Hey, things are coming along quite nicely, wouldn't you say? And so then you've got your Imperium Row dice. I set this to 5 to represent the 5 Solari it costs to take the Mentat space, and I just set it just like that. Got my Bene Gesserit voice blockers. First player coin right there. And yeah, there's some extra stuff floating around here. And then, of course, these are my trackers right here. It's really just a magnetized little thing, and it works just fine. I like it. Okay, great. Now we're going to open up the card box. The card box gets opened. And here's the Imperium Row stack. It's quite a lot of cards. Here's the House Hagal stack right here. I will shuffle all of these. We've got a starting deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, here is the Twilaxu row. Arrakis Liaison. The spice must flow. Fold space. Right on. Now, here we go. Then I go like this after it's been shuffled once. Subject X137, Gala. And then with this, now normally I would just be utilizing my table here, but I'm going to play it, shuffle this on the board so everyone can see. Normally I would do 5 rows, but you know, I mean, I guess I could move this coin, do for 5 rows right there. Now, I've seen online, they have these, for a long time, I had this dream of wanting to be one of the few people to design an automatic card shuffler that incorporates the sleeves of the cards. And I thought that I was like going to be the first one to do it, because as much as I looked on the internet, you can find like card shufflers. You know, Vegas has them and stuff like that. Yeah, you could shuffle a deck of cards, no problem, but you can't shuffle cards with the sleeves. So you have to be able to trust that whatever shuffler you're using, you would know that even if you put, say, your most expensive Magic the Gathering card in a sleeve and then put it in that deck shuffler, that you could trust that the deck shuffler wouldn't crinkle your card or shuffle it wrong and bungle it and mess up your valuable cards. So you'd have to make it gravity activated, where the cards just sort of like fell on top of the other cards, and you'd have to have a kind of like spinning cog of some kind to churn the cards out. And I thought of this idea of like keeping it all gravity activated, where it was like spinning the cog and the piston would go up and down and it would cause the cards to tilt into a slot. And I had this whole design in my head of what it would look like, only to see online that people have already created such a thing and you can 3D print it. So a good buddy of mine, he gave me his older 3D printer. He got a better one, and I don't think he has any use for his older one, so he gave it to me. And now it's just a matter of figuring out how to work one of those. And I could make my own automatic card shuffler, which would make this whole experience way faster, because you could just shuffle it like 2-3 times by spinning the handle. Yeah, here we go. And so there you have it. Now it's Shuffle House of Gaul. This is what it takes to play this game. And yeah, tonight I got lucky. I have an extra 30 minutes to do this, so perfect time to set up. And then once the game gets rolling, we will be able to play. And here's my starting deck. We'll be able to play. Hopefully I can do a shorter game tonight, win quickly. All right, now we got to pick the characters. All right, characters. I have it set up so anything with a star, I do believe anything with, anything with a star can't be used. So let's remove the stars. So this is how I pick my, who I'm going to be playing against. Just shuffle them up, and here we go. You got that guy and Ariana Thorvald. Then I shuffle them all up. I got these stars. Now I got to get rid of these stickers because they're peeling up. I thought it would be a good idea, but I might just have to mark them with a pen. All right, now I close my eyes and I just pick one from the middle. Okay, we're Moritani tonight. All right, so he'll go right about here. She'll go right about there, and I try to bring these things down. Now, I used to have them way up here, but I realize I can't reach that far. Doesn't look good on camera, me constantly having to reach. So I stopped doing that. And, okay, great. So now it's just a matter of here we are. Let's just get these out. All right, so here's my nuke. I got my flags. Put the flags out here. Now, I'm making sure I'm going to give myself like a little bit of space, because I'm going to anticipate that the camera is off center, and I'm going to have to reorient everything. You know, it's just the way it is. And there's this track here. What am I missing? I guess that's it. And of course I put my tokens in the middle. I like these new acrylic ones. They're really colorful. They show up, I'm very happy with how they show up on camera. And they're somehow easier to identify than these ones, these tracker tokens. I don't know how or why that is, but they just appear on camera. Oh, that's right. That's my High Council tracker. That's right. And there that is. Okay. And so then I give myself 3 troops. That goes over there. I line up my soldiers, my dutiful soldiers fighting for the liege, fighting for their emperor, their great leader, Admiral Trench. And then I get my second green ones out. There we go. Now, what I can tell you right away is I don't need this nuke tracker. I don't need a research tracker. I will require the flags. So let's put these flags out, even though it's unlikely they'll get all 3 of these flags out, but it's still just good to have them out anyway. Put the green tracker on the right-hand side, I suppose. That's a good idea. Green, green, green. They do use their Twi'lexi tracker. They don't need their High Council. Combat tracker here. Don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. And the Chom tracker here. Give them their dreadnoughts. I try to give it as much symmetry as I can, just for, I'm all for the aesthetics, you know? I like to have a cool, clean look to it. So that's what I'm all about. Whoops, there we go. Hey, it's coming together quite nicely, wouldn't you say? And then just give that one a little bit more space. Put these up here and get the other ones out. Put this back, put that back. They don't use their High Council. And then put their research tracker back and put the flags over here. Give them the combat tracker. We're getting close. It's almost time to start the game. I'm getting excited. Nice. And then the last thing I do, once everything is set up, is I start pulling the pins for my LEDs off of my agents. But before I start tonight, I got to write down some of the rules. Something I've been wanting to do is write down the rules for how playing against Kwisatz Haderach works. And that way I could just recite the rules every night without having to like remember this, remember that. Just easier. So I'll like kind of give myself a script, you know? That makes everything so much easier. Okay, now that that's done, I look for my needle nose pliers, wherever those went. Where did they go? Oh, there they are. Okay. I've got myself a pen and a pad of paper, so I'll be able to write those rules down quickly. And all right, here we go. Pulling tabs for my LEDs. And right now I have all the lights on in my garage, so even the lighting isn't quite right now, so you can see the LEDs don't look that awesome, but they'll get there. As soon as I turn off the lights and I set the lighting correctly, you'll see what that looks like. Makes a significant difference. I just recently found a new light to beam out this portion of the map over here to make it look nicer, and you'll be able to see that better, but it will keep this portion shaded so that the LEDs really pop. And the LED on the Mentat. All right, Thufir, thank you. All right, so now there's this. I come over here and I kind of look at the shadow. Ah, nice. Yeah, I did pretty okay for myself, I think. And there you have it. All right, well, with that said, I'm going to start writing down the rules, and thank you all for watching. Bye for now. That's a setup for game, what is it, 16? All right, bye.